What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream this morning, where we are going to be talking about Jesus healing a blind man. But before we get there, we're going to sing a few songs, and we'll start with Roll the Gospel Chariot. So here we go. Roll the gospel chariot along, roll the gospel chariot along, roll the gospel chariot along, and we won't tag along behind. If a brother's in the way, we will stop and pick him up. If a brother's in the way, we will stop and pick him up. If a brother's in the way, we will stop and pick him up, and we won't tag along behind. If a sister's in the way, we will stop and pick her up. If a sister's in the way, we will stop and pick her up. If a sister's in the way, we will stop and pick her up, and we won't tag along behind. So roll the gospel chariot along, roll the gospel chariot along, roll the gospel chariot along, and we won't tag along behind. If the devil's in the way, we will run right over him. If the devil's in the way, we will run right over him. If the devil's in the way, we will run right over him, and we won't tag along behind. So roll the gospel chariot along, roll the gospel chariot along, roll the gospel chariot along, and we won't tag along behind. All right, next song we're going to do is called The Fruit of the Spirit. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. We're talking about fruit, but it's not the kind of fruit that you're thinking, not the kind of fruit that you eat. It's a different kind of fruit, and we're going to sing about it. So here we go. The fruit of the Spirit's not a coconut. The fruit of the Spirit's not a coconut. You want to be a coconut, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit's not a watermelon. The fruit of the Spirit's not a watermelon. If you want to be a watermelon, you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit's not a banana man. The fruit of the Spirit's not a banana man. If you want to be a banana man, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. All right, roll the video.
Stories of the Bible. Jesus heals a man born blind. This is Jesus,
Hey-o!
who is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. While Jesus was on earth, he taught everyone about God's love. He did many miracles and healed people of their sickness.
Oh, hey, everyone!
One day, Jesus was walking with his disciples, and he saw a man who was born blind.
Hey, Jesus!
His disciples wondered whose fault it was that this man was blind. Jesus told them it was not because anyone sinned, but rather it was because the power of God could be shown through this man's life. Then Jesus spit on the ground and made mud. He spread the mud over the blind man's eyes and told him, "Go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam." So the man went and did as Jesus said, and he could see.
Wow!
The man's neighbors and others who knew him as the blind man wondered if this was the same man.
Is that the same guy? No way.
They said, "No, he just looks like him."
It's me. No, it can't be.
But the blind man kept saying, "Yes, it's me." So the people asked, "Who healed you? What happened?" And the man told them all that Jesus had done for him.
Ew, that's what happened.
The people asked, "Where is Jesus now?" But the man didn't know.
Come on, you.
So the people took the man to the Pharisees because it was the Sabbath, the day of rest, and they thought Jesus shouldn't have made mud and healed the man on the Sabbath. The Pharisees asked the man so many questions,
What's going on?
and he answered them, "I was blind, but now I can see." The Pharisees kept asking more questions. They even brought the man's parents in to ask them questions, but they wouldn't answer because they were afraid of the Pharisees. Finally, the man had enough and yelled,
Listen!
"Look, I told you once. Why do you want to hear it again? If this man were not from God, he couldn't have made me see."
Don't come back.
The Pharisees were so mad at the man for saying this that they threw him out of the synagogue. Jesus heard what happened,
Oh, hey there.
and he found the man and asked him, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" The man answered, "Who is he, sir? I want to believe in him." "You have seen him," Jesus said, "and he is speaking to you."
Wow!
"Yes, Lord, I believe." And he worshiped Jesus.
All right.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's pretty crazy.
That's a really fun story, and I'm sure you guys are going to have tons of fun with the packets that they put together for this week with
Is there
that.
mud in them?
I'm not going to confirm or deny if there's mud in these packets, but once again, they did an incredible job with them, and I know you guys will enjoy them. But the story, so much going on, you know, just the idea of Jesus healing this man who had been blind from birth, right? Never been able to see before. And Jesus having the power to do that, but also changing that man's life, not just by letting him see, but the way he saw everything that went on around him. The courage it gave him to speak up against the Pharisees who were trying to trap Jesus. The courage to continue to stand up even though his parents were scared. You know, all these things around him. But Jesus healing this man and investing in this man allowed him to have the courage to do what he needed to do to stand up for Jesus.
Yeah. And isn't it so funny how, you know, Jesus used so many different ways to perform miracles.
Yeah.
You know, and it almost seems silly, but he still did it. Like we see in this story, he used mud. In other stories, he told people to go and, you know, do something. It's just like all these different ways of healing people. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Who would think that mud, right?
I know, yeah.
Because Jesus oftentimes just used what was there, you know, and realizing to put more emphasis on, hey, this is coming from God, not from the specialness of this mud, not from the specialness of this. I can send you anywhere and accomplish this because it's God working, but you have to believe that God is going to work and not in these elements. Just so important all the way around of understanding the power of Jesus working on earth with these people so they could believe in who he was. And that's what it came down to, is whenever he came back to the man and the man had been thrown out of the synagogue and Jesus comes back to him and the man says, you know, who am I to worship from this? You know, who is the Son of God? And Jesus reveals himself to him as the Son of God, and he automatically begins to worship him. Just really interesting and powerful the way that Jesus worked throughout that. It was never to gain recognition for Jesus, but always to glorify God, which is what he tells us to do. You know, we can do these great things, but if the glory isn't going to God, then it's not being what it's supposed to be.
Do you think it's weird the way the apostles saw the blind man when they first saw him, or what they thought?
Yeah, I mean that's always something. Do you want to go in and explain that a little more? Because it didn't touch it too much on the video, a little bit, but not a whole lot.
I mean, it's like they saw the blind man and they're just like, man, what did he do wrong?
Yeah.
Or what did his parents do wrong?
Yeah, because so many times it feels like when bad things happen, it's a result from doing something wrong, and Jesus saying, no, that's not how this works. You're not just condemned. And it goes back all the way to Job. You know, that's what Job's friends thought when things started going wrong in his life. So it's not something new with Jesus. That's how it's always been. Bad things don't just happen when people are doing things wrong. We know that sometimes things happen, and because of who God is, he can overcome any of those things. Definitely.
such
So
a cool
good.
thing in the story.
It is, big time.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that you guys are going to have an awesome day with us today. Hopefully, we're going to see you in just a little bit. And hopefully, everyone's being safe and school has not been too hard going back to, and you guys are enjoying that. But once again, we're just excited that we get to see you guys later today. If you're going to be here, and if you're not, if you're watching online, we'll see you there.
Yep.
All right. Love you guys.
Love y'all.